We're back into another Sunday. Excuse me, on the political spectrum, and we have Clinton joining us right in time on our Black Media Network. You're right on time, Clinton. So
Perfect.
I'm talking about perfect timing. You know, as Keisha Gibson Carter told me today, you should run for president.
I don't have the money. I don't have the money.
She'll be your fundraiser. You might have better memory than Biden, but anyway, we're going to keep going. So we're going to kick it off, y'all, with our first top 10. And let me, if I could add my first one, I want to offer prayers to President Trump and his family. I just think what happened a couple of days ago, if not yesterday, was ridiculous, sad, and we got to do better. What are y'all's thoughts?
I feel sorry for the family of the victim, the smack hanger, who got caught in the crossfire and lost their life. The fact that we amp things up to a point where we think our political opposites must pass away in order for our ideas to take hold is wrong. Politics shouldn't be life and death. It should be opposing ideas in a civil manner, and we've been amping things up to where if the other person wins, we're all going to die. And because we've amped things up to that level, we've encouraged this level of hatred, chaos, and murderous attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I concur. It was definitely a sad day yesterday for our country. The fact that someone would even go that route to decide that they want to assassinate former President Trump. I do think the rhetoric needs to be toned down on both sides going forward. Trump is not off the hook because I do think he has contributed to some of this rhetoric. On the same token, I think the media for so many years have really drummed up this hatred towards Trump to where people now feel like they might have to go and take out this threat to democracy. So I do think that we should tone this rhetoric down on both sides. I hope President Trump, throughout the Republican National Convention, takes this opportunity as a leader to try to unite the country. And as Clint said, we can have political differences, but it should not be at the expense of someone's life.
Well, we need to understand that although negative news gets higher ratings, it heightens the emotions of the public to a level where things like this happen. You need to be more concerned about delivering the truth than simply giving eyes on the screen. And because our news outlets, internet outlets, any form of video, radio, have become obsessed with ratings and clickbait, they know the more negative the clickbait, whether it's on TV, internet, iPod, whatever, they know the more eyeballs, but they'll understand there are repercussions for your actions. When you heighten people's emotion up in a negative way, such as hatred and fear, people get hurt. People get really hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's just not what we do, locally. I mean, Dante, you're in Atlanta, and I'm sure you see things you don't agree with. And here in Savannah, the things that we don't agree with, and Clinton can agree. At the same time, you have got to have respect for a person's life, right? And when you step outside that boundary, it's just, you got to really examine who you are. So we got to do some self-reflection there in that space. But at the same time, that leads us to this whole thing of even within the Democrat Party, we know that as Barbara Boxer would say, that Biden has been pummeled, right? And so we see Biden bites back. And what are you all's thoughts about that? I am one who believes that, I'm a Georgia Bulldog. And if the Bulldogs are winning championships, why change course? And so we know that Biden has had a good track record. He's won. Why change course? But he bites back. What's your thoughts?
I think his response that occurred, I think, almost immediately after the attempt was very dignified. I think it was on point, and I really liked the way Biden delivered it. Now, I'm sure it was developed by his staff and writers, but I think it was a perfect response. I mean, whether he has cognitive decline or not, he delivered it fine. I have no problem with his immediate response. I think it's very dignified.
Yeah, I think President Biden's response was appropriate. It was the right thing for him to say at that moment. I am curious of how he's going to tone down his rhetoric because his whole campaign is Trump is a threat to democracy. So let's see how that's going to work going forward. In regards to the Democratic Party trying to oust Biden, so one, I have a big problem with that. And I'm not even a Democrat. We went through a primary season and the voters decided to choose Biden. There was another Democrat that was running and he did not get any airtime. The news networks did not invite him, and people didn't do their research to say, hey, let's go with this different candidate. Hell, I mean, you can even take Bobby Kennedy, but there's that. Unfortunately, the Democratic Party has now put themselves in a little pickle. You got Biden, so you stuck with Biden right now. And I hope if they try to do some flip-flamsy thing at the convention, the Republican Party will sue the hell out their ass because the voters chose Biden. That's y'all guy. That's who y'all want to be at the front of your party. So now you have to go up against Trump. So the Democrats trying to do these backroom deals, trying to find out who is best to now represent the party. Hell nah, it's Biden. And that's the people who they voted for Biden. And if Biden is not going to run for president, these Democrats that's in the House right now, let's stop playing around and playing all these stupid games. If you think he's incapable, go ahead and invoke the 25th Amendment. Let's stop playing these games. Go ahead and invoke the 25th Amendment and move his ass out if you think he is not that capable of being president. If you're not going to do that, other than that, just shut up. And anybody who think that y'all about to skip over Kamala Harris, that's just a downright insult. And black people, I think that you actually should wake up to what is going on right now for the Democratic Party to do some shit like that. That's a black job that's about to be taken from the Democratic Party. And that's all that I have to say about that. I'm going to let the Democrats continue to fight each other. There's going to be a Trump win. And by the way, the person who decided to shoot Trump yesterday, you just gave him the election, by the way.
Yeah, I hate to break it to everyone, but Trump knows how to spin information.
Oh, he does.
You played right into his hands with this assassination attempt.
And you gave him some good photos, too.
He will milk it for everything it's worth. So, I'm sorry, but that shooter pretty much put the nail in the Democrat Party coffin. Good luck. It doesn't matter whether you stay with Biden or not. After this attempt, I think the odds are on Trump now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And you know what? Honestly, I'm sorry. Just to kind of continue my rant. What's the problem of losing this cycle? Like the Democrats are like, oh my God, like we have to find some way to defeat Trump. You did. You selected Biden. And if you think he is not that person, then I'm sorry. You're going to lose this cycle. Like you have next time to figure out your shit.
4 more years.
But this time you pick Biden. Y'all can't, and this is what Trump talks about, where y'all be doing some cheating type shit and try to make it legit. Like, no, y'all went through a whole primary process. This is the person who y'all.
Oh my God!
I'm done with.
No, you're good. I'm enjoying it. So before we move on from our top 10, anything you got, Dante or Clinton, for the top 10?
I don't think the assassination attempt was fake. I do think it was allowed. I think there was a lot of indiscrepancies on security. I think they were purposely slack. I don't know why. I don't know whether it's incompetence or whether there's an inside job of not caring about, who they hire. But security should not have even allowed that. I think it was a horrible assassination attempt, and I think they used a low-rate 22 rifle, which is the equivalent of using a BB gun. You know, so whoever attempted this did not know very much about firearms. Otherwise, they would have picked a far better rifle. Right, but this is not to be the amateur hour of assassinations.
Yeah, yeah. If you're gonna do it right.
But that's good because that way Mr. Trump didn't die. And
Right, exactly.
unfortunately, there was only one victim. But it could have been a whole lot more victims if they knew what they were doing. So thank goodness they didn't know what they were doing.
Well, and if I may say this is one of the reasons why we created this show, is for people to realize when it comes to public policy and politics, you don't have to kill one another or hate one another. You can have a civil discourse and not necessarily agree and still go have dinner or, still be friends. And so,
Well, you
one of
need
the-
to attack each other on ideas and not attack each other personally. I had a few people that attacked me personally for my appearance, the way I walk, the way I talk. I did my best during the campaign to not address it. It's
Yeah.
not that I didn't notice. I noticed what Tim said and showed, and I noticed what Linda Wilder comments made.
she's a fucking idiot.
But
I mean it.
I wanted people to focus on what my platform was and what her platform was.
Which is nothing.
Yeah.
My bad.
Tam, she's slowly revealing who she is. And Linda Wilder Bryant is revealing who she is or what she's voting for. Pay attention, voters. She's not voting in your favor.
14th of July. And on
Right.
GLB, the front
So,
door was open.
That's what we got. Dante, anything on the top 10? Are we ready to move forward?
Oh, I wanted to mention something.
Oh, go on.
I'm happy to say that a business that I thought went under simply moved.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm happy about that. The Creole Kitchen, which was a big supporter of me and endorsed me, they weren't able to stay in my district due to taxes, so they moved to District 1.
Good.
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 So here's in the Creole Kitchen. I hope it keeps going.
Yeah, I saw that too, Clinton. I went to the pet store over there on Victory Drive, and I was like, oh my God, they're gone. But yeah, that's good to know. But where they're located now, so we know.
I know it's on Main Street. I don't know the exact address, but they're now in District 1, and I'm pretty sure that's Linda Burnett's.
Yeah.
She'll fight for him, and I know she will.
Yeah, because Linda ain't shit on a stick. Excuse me, y'all, but we're going to go to our first message.
Need your garments cleaned with care and with a professional touch? Then bring them to One Price Cleaners in Garden City at the Old Farmers Market on Highway 80. Service you can count on.
I'm Patty Hewitt, and I'm worried about our future.
Last one?
I think about my grandkids and the belief that they deserve every opportunity. And what you deserve, what Coastal Georgia deserves, is someone who cares more about their community than about corporate profits and big pharma.
I'll see you later.
All right, thank you. Small business owners and hardworking Georgians are the heart of our community.
Good day.
Not CEOs, not lobbyists, not shareholders. But who's taking care of them? It's time to ask yourself, what do you want from your government? This is our year to stand up against what we know is wrong. No more DC politicians invading our home life. No more racism that kills dreams and spreads violence. And no more corporate greed at the expense of workers' rights and our environment.
So what would be the most meaningful help to you?
I've spent the last 8 years working behind the scenes, mobilizing our communities for positive change. And while that is really important work, I can't stand by and allow the same tired politicians to run this country, the same ones who've neglected the real needs of Georgians. I'm ready to take our seat in Congress so I can fight for you and your families.
I vote for you.
Thank you, my darling. I love you. This isn't about party lines. This is about voting for a better future for more Georgians. Enough is enough.
All right, so we are gearing up tomorrow for a conversation that will be very interesting. But let me start this video before we get started.
All right.
Open the convention in Milwaukee, where Donald Trump is expected to name his running mate. ABC's Jay O'Brien is right there in Milwaukee this morning. Good morning, Jay.
Gio, good morning. Before things even kick off here in Milwaukee, all eyes today will be on former President Trump at a rally in Pennsylvania as suspense builds over exactly who his vice presidential pick will be. In a recent radio interview, Trump said he'd like to announce the pick at the convention here in Milwaukee or slightly before it. ABC News has reported that Florida Senator Marco Rubio, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, all on Trump's shortlist. Meantime, here in Milwaukee, preparations are underway for a convention that will very much be in Trump's image. Each night has a theme that is a spinoff of Trump's Make America Great Again tagline. Monday is Make America Wealthy Again. Tuesday is Make America Safe Again, and so on. Sources tell ABC News that former First Lady Melania Trump will be in attendance in a rare campaign appearance for her. Both of Trump's adult sons are also expected to speak. Republican sources tell me that they have relished in recent weeks that the scrutiny has been on their opponents as Democrats grapple with President Biden's candidacy. But they acknowledge that when things kick off here in Milwaukee, the spotlight will shift back onto the GOP and back onto Trump. Rhianna?
All eyes on Milwaukee. Jay O'Brien, thank you for that.
All right, who's going to be the VP?
You know, I think the VP, he's going to hold out to the last minute, as he knows that way he can more shock value, more suspense. And I think at this point, it's not going to be someone that's his equal. He wants someone that in his perception is less than him. So if he's ever in, he doesn't have to worry about them taking over. You know, he doesn't want someone, he wants to make it where people are completely dependent on him. So he's not going to pick someone, in my opinion, that is competent enough. He's going to try to pick someone less than him.
So Marjorie Greene Taylor.
Probably, yeah. He's going to try to pick somebody, well, you better not
She's a
assassinate.
complete idiot.
You'll have to deal with this, you know.
Dante, you're muted. You're muted. You're muted. You're doing like Marjorie Greene Taylor right now.
Who do I think Trump is going to pick? I think it's either going to be out of Rubio or J.D. Vance. Who I would like for him to pick is Nikki Haley, but I think that's a long shot.
Yeah.
Hopefully Nikki Haley does have a speaking engagement this week at the convention so it can show some unity in the party. But because of the bad blood between her and Trump, I doubt she would even be there at all, or her name will be mentioned. In regards to the convention this week, so I see a lot of people are talking about Project 2025, and I think that's good that people are trying to be informed of what a think tank is trying to propose to the next American conservative president. So the Project 2025, its parent company is the Heritage Foundation. It is a think tank. It's a conservative think tank, just like the liberals have a think tank. I think it's called CAP or something like that, Center for American Progress or something along those lines. They have their policies that they would like a liberal president to do as well. It doesn't mean that the person who actually wins the White House is actually going to implement any of those policies. So just because somebody says Trump name before something, in the middle, or after, it does not mean that Trump is tied to in any way. If anybody had the intellect curiosity, just as you went to Project 2025 website, you would have went to the Republican National Committee website to look up their platform as well. And hell, you can go to Donald Trump's website to look up his platform as well. The fact that people are trying to link Donald Trump to Project 2025 tells me that the Democrats have nothing really to go off of. They have nothing to really challenge Trump on because you can't even combat Trump on his own policies. You have to pick something that he has no knowledge and no attachment to. And I wish people stop trying to give Trump as much credit as people think he is, like he's this ultimate mastermind. Y'all, he's really not that type of person. I mean, things just kind of fall in his favor, and he knows how to work the camera.
I
Him too much credit.
Right to people, but most of the policies that they're attributing to Trump that they don't like, they need to blame their Congress. Congress
I
has,
agree with that. I agree.
Congress has been doing most of this, but they don't want people to know it. And I hate to break it to them, a president does not have the power of a king or a dictator. A president has limited powers. Congress, they're the ones that have been allowing a lot of the things to happen or passing them. You need to point the finger at your state and federal representatives. Those are the ones that have been allowing what has been, occurring in our local politics, local, state, and federal politics. But we attribute everything to a president, and if a president is the beginning and the end of every policy that they have to endure. No, your Congress is at fault. You need to point the finger where it should be pointed. That's my opinion.
And I agree with you, Clinton. I think right now, if you look at, and we're the political spectrum, everything is a spectrum, right?
Yeah.
On one end, you have Marjorie Greene, Taylor Greene, and on the other end, you have Jasmine Crockett, right? And I believe the best strategists and leaders are in that middle, right? You understand both sides of that spectrum, but you operate in that middle. I think so often that we find folks want to be all the way over here with Marjorie or all the way with Jasmine. No, that's not what we want. We want people who are going to listen to both extremists, but also sit in the middle and make decisions. But Dante, you got a question here from a viewer. As a black man, and I think he knows he's a black man, we don't have to keep reminding folks, which I love about this cast we have here. We understand identity.
Well, wait. Dante's African American. He didn't tell me.
No, right?
Oh my God. So do you agree with Jordan? I love you, Clint. Let me tell you, I love you. When I say I love you, you are the SHIT. Go ahead for it, Dante.
Oh, what was the question? I'm sorry, I didn't even.
I know. Do you agree with Project 2025?
Actually, I don't.
There you go. There you go.
Just that simple. I mean, just because someone put out something and they might be a conservative as well doesn't mean that I'm just automatically going to agree with it. I'll leave that to the Democratic Party.
Yeah, and as far as the Libertarian Party, we don't agree on anything. That's what makes we pretty much are all over the place. So, yeah. People can put out a brain or a fake tank or an agenda all they like. That doesn't mean that particular political party is going to follow it. I have to admit, it was a brilliant move to throw out this information on the Democrat side because it distracted everyone and put them into a state of fear. It was a brilliant strategic move. I would have done it.
So y'all, and we have a respect. Mr. Barbie is one of my favorite people. He is a councilman in Port Wentworth. But Mr. Barbie, we love you, and we want to offer your comment. Some people are so brainwashed by Trump lies, they lost all logical thinking. Trump found guilty of sex assault, found guilty of fraud and tax evasion, convicted felon, bankrupt 6 times, paid $8 million for defamation of women, and twice impeached president. All facts proven in court. Trump lied 74 times, a 90-minute debate. Joe definitely a little slow, but Joe knows how to tell the truth and works together well with others. I vote for Joe, not because I'm a Democrat, but because truth outweighs lies. I'll just ad-lib there.
I'll make a rebuttal that.
Go for it.
Please go for it.
You will get in and watch some of the videos from Joe back in the 70s and the 80s. And you'll be quite shocked at the type of personality you get up. Joe is not who you think Joe is. Now we hung out with well-known bigots, but he promoted some very racist policies in his early days. If you don't believe me, just do a little digging. I think you'll be shocked at what you discover.
I don't think people will do some digging, just as a person who made that comment about Trump, because people are mostly brainwashed and they don't use their own logic to do their own research. They just go based off what their favorite anchor tells them to feel about somebody from 2015 until present. You were told and programmed to hate this man just at the snap of a finger. Before he even decided to run for a public office or even get involved in politics during Barack Obama years, Trump's name was everywhere. To be successful, Trump, everybody wanted to be around him. He was on top morning shows on MSNBC, ABC, named in rap songs, made movie appearance, made television appearance. If he was just this big racist person as people try to make him out to be, I think a lot of people back then would have caught on to it long time ago. But there's a reason why they didn't catch on to it, because it does not exist. The only color Trump understands is green. Now, you can hit Trump with the lies, but all politicians lies. And the fact that you can't even understand that all politicians lie tells me that you are biased. A politician normally tells people what they want to hear. We actually see what they do once they become in office, then we can judge them. So any politician is going to get up on stage and sweet talk them. It's not Trump's fault that Biden couldn't even combat half of the stuff or even think. I mean, Biden probably was dead on stage and just they had to bring him back to life.
Do him like that. Now you're not gonna do that now. That man one day they didn't put no IV in that man's arm.
But I mean, and Trump being impeached twice, they were ready to impeach Trump as soon as he came down the escalator before he even ran the office. They was already ready to put him out of office before he even became sworn in office. So again, if you're going to critique Trump, critique him on his policies. And if you hate Trump, then go ahead and lead with "I hate Trump," and then we can have a conversation of a real conversation and not just you trying to pick and choose anything. Biden lied in that debate too, by the way. Both of them lied.
Well, let me ask y'all this.
So the fact that we can say one lie more than the other, they lie. It is up to the candidate to challenge the other person and debate. That's why it's called debate. It's not our fault that the Democrats picked Joe Biden, who's a failed man, a failed politician. Well, I mean, he's about to be.
Let me
dead
ask y'all this.
I hate Trump. I notice you hate Trump.
And I sit on the Democrat Party of Georgia. And what gets me is the Democrats want to play ageism, but for both parties, Republicans and Democrats, why can't the third party candidates receive the same equality? Since both parties are about equality, why can't the third party candidates receive the same equality? And Clint, I want you to start with that.
Because we can see the flaws on both sides, and we can see the positives on both sides. And some of the ideas we introduce cut through all the extremist rhetoric. There are a lot of things that we bring about, especially if we were allowed in a debate, that the other two parties want to keep on ignoring. Like, if you want to criticize Trump, here's a good way to. He abused eminent domain. So why don't Democrats attack there? I'll tell you why. Because they want to abuse eminent domain as well. So if they make that a topic in a debate, and a Democrat rises to power, they can't abuse it. That's why they never bring up the subject. So if you want to really take Trump down on something legitimate with his signature all over it, he abused eminent domain through his administration and his tenure. Yet every time he's critiqued, no one said a word about that. You ever wonder why? Because the Democrats, like Republicans, want to be able to violate that law or abuse it as much as possible if they're in power. A third party would bring that to focus. Number two, most of us in the third parties, or at least in mine, we don't want any gun regulations. But we know that the best way to take away your Second Amendment right is a piece at a time. So we want to give people the illusion that if there were just one more gun regulation, it would reduce crime. How many criminals do you know purchase firearms legally? Hardly any.
You make a damn good point.
Hardly any. So all your gun regulations aren't going to do anything. Because most criminals that are going to put a bullet in you did not purchase the gun legally with a permit. Sorry, I hate to break it to you. Most people that are on the bad side of life are not worried about, oh man, I need to get a permit. Because if I murder this person, I want to make sure I'm abiding by the law. Really? I mean, come on. So when people talk about gun regulation and if it's going to reduce violence, it kind of makes me giggle. Because next they'll be, hey, let's put regulations on knives, steak knives. And people in a restaurant might start stabbing each other. Well, okay, what next? You know what about regulation against forks?
Let's go for forks. I want forks.
Great Britain, you might laugh at this, but Great Britain, they have outlawed the utensil of a knife. In London, you're not allowed to use a knife to cut your food. Yeah, I'm not joking. It's now illegal to use a knife in London. Yeah.
Spoons. I hate spoons.
That was their answer to dealing with crime. Let's make a use.
That's spoons of that.
First party will address. We want to legalize most of all drugs because we think the individual is responsible, not the drug. Most of the EUI laws are made to generate money, not reduce crime, not save lives. Because if it was about saving a life, whether a person is sober or drunk, if they were driving recklessly, they go to jail. But when you go, oh, it's not my fault, I was drinking. Well, did someone put a gun in your head and make you drink? Well, no. Okay.
Yes.
You know. DUI laws and hit citations. And when that can generate money, that's what it's really about. I really don't care if you're sober or drunk. If you ram into me and you're a horrible driver, I like you to go to jail.
Motley Associates. No, call Motley Associates.
I'm sorry, but when I'm in a wheelchair and my legs are over my shoulder, I don't care whether you were drunk or sober. You were. So we need to. Third parties want people to take personal responsibility and stop blaming it on a drug or an alcohol beverage.
Hey. Sometimes never mind. You go ahead, Dante.
You're accountable and you're responsible. And if you know you can't drive when you drink or do drugs, don't drive.
I'm sorry. Quit talking about me.
So we kind of want to legalize most drugs, and that's
I do too. I'm here for it. We're friends.
Yeah. So a lot of the ideas that third parties have are off the beaten path, and they're subjects that the two parties do not want to talk about. That's why.
Yeah, I have to agree with Clint. There's a reason why the two parties made sure that Kennedy was out of this election cycle or even on that debate stage, which I think he should be on the debate stage. I actually think the Libertarian candidate should be on the debate stage, Cornel West and the Green Party candidate as well. No. I think, honestly, if you're running for president, everybody should stand on that stage and let them all debate the ideas. I think conservative principles are the best approach. And that's why I think everybody should stand on that stage and debate it. And conservative principles and policies, at least in my view, is always the best approach to handle a lot of the issues. When it comes to third party, I mean, it's going to take people just to get involved in their local community. I mean, you don't always have to run to the Democrat or Republican Party. I mean, you can get involved in the Libertarian Party. You can get involved in the Green Party. You can get involved in the Independent Party, the Constitution Party. I mean, there are several political parties. I mean, I'm pretty sure when Abraham Lincoln was trying to, get the Republican Party started, a lot of people thought he was crazy at that time. But look what that party has become. So I do think, get involved in your local communities, make a difference, and just work your way up. I know a lot of people aren't happy with what happened with the abortion decision that the Supreme Court did, but guess what? That's given back to the people. People can make up their own decisions in their states. So if someone in your state has gone very extreme with abortion, like Arizona, you can run for office. You can run as an independent. You can run as a third party candidate. It now allows you to be the champion and master of your own destiny. And if a politician is not doing something that you want, then run against them.
This is going to sound weird. I'm pro-choice, but I do think it should be left up to the states. I don't think it should be left up to the federal government. The more we involve the federal government in everything, the more we're giving ominous power.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be left up to the federal government, and I don't think it should be a federal ban.
I think there should be limited federal government. I think the state should have more rights. I am pro-choice.
Yeah.
I know I offend you, Dante, but
Well, y'all, real quick, Donald Trump stopped by our Black Media headquarters and had a conversation with Julius Hall. We're going to play that. We're going to play that message, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Well, 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 Mr. R. Black Media.
Donald Trump, what the hell are you doing in my office? Why aren't you in jail?
I'm not going to jail. My slaying Stephen, my friend, your Savannah homeboy, Clarence Thomas, made sure that I don't go to prison. I told you I was coming back to get you and them damn Brown brothers, Charlie Brown and Bernard Brown. What are you doing in this fancy office? When I'm finished with you and the ATR crew, you will all have black jobs.
Trump, you will be stopped. The American people will stop you.
The American people are fools. They elected me, didn't they? And I'm gonna pick either Marjorie Taylor Greene or Tim Scott as my vice president, only to pull the rest of the idiots in this country behind me.
Well, suppose President Biden uses those new powers to make you go away before the election.
Biden is too weak and too principled to use those powers. I have even fooled the Christian community. For 2,000 years, they have been warning the world about the return of the devil. And when I showed up, they bought a Bible from me.
Donald, don't you have any sense of morality or decency in you, man?
Are you kidding me? I'm king now. I don't have to be moral or decent. The people must do what I say and follow my rules. Now, where's that damn Charlie Brown and Mr. America?
Donald, you have to rethink this. What are you doing, man?
You have until January the 20th to close this platform down and go back to Africa, or you will have to get a black job. Tell Robert that I promised him that he would be frying fish at Shabazz restaurant. And Jamal, if I hear one more word from him, he will be giving tours in Haiti.
Don't do this, Donald.
I will be back on January the 21st. And when I return, this place better be closed. And everyone here better have black jobs. Oh, by the way, Burger King is hiring.
I don't care. Get out the door. I don't care. Nobody. Come on, bring it on. Let's kick it.
Well, I ain't frying fish. I don't do that.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but the fast food joints are not hiring right now.
I'm just saying, and you know they're not gonna hire me, Clinton. I mean,
Not gonna hire me.
Clinton. Had it been up to debates, I would have been a councilman right now. We all know that, but we're gonna leave that alone.
Speaking of black jobs, there was a black radio host that just got fired recently because yeah, that was another black job that's gone since we on the topic of black jobs. I mean, she got fired for only reading off the questions that the Biden team gave to her. So
that was sad, but she was only doing her job.
She was only doing her job, and that black job got terminated because she thought she had an opportunity to speak with the president of the United States. But you know what the president of the United States told this black woman? You can't even think to ask me a question. My team got to give you questions so your audience can listen to the answers that I already have prepared for them, because unlike George Stephanopoulos, I don't think your people can think.
Well, and I'm gonna offer you this, Dante, because I know you enjoy the foolishness. You hear what it is. So I'm gonna post this because I know it doesn't offend you. It just fills you up. But so I'm gonna let you read it out loud. I can't see it unless Clinton want to read it out loud.
Oh, right here.
And viewers who are watching, throw your hardest, craziest questions at us. That's why we're here.
I'll read it.
I don't agree with the question, but you know we've got to get in a place where we can word it.
In a question or a comment?
It's more a comment.
I can't see. I can't see.
Mr. Dante, my name is spelled wrong. I'm ashamed of you as...
It isn't a part 6, Beach High School.
That's not how you spell my name, but Mr. Dante, I'm ashamed of you as of Clarence Thomas, 2 Savannah slaves. Harriet Gunman would have unlived both of you. Okay.
Oh, wow. I thought it was Harriet Tubman, but okay.
Well, he fixed it.
No. I read it as he typed, but that's okay. That's okay. I guess that hatred didn't allow you to think, but it's okay.
So what I will offer is this. I think, in my humble opinion, and I'm not, here defending or I will say this. I think Clinton put it up a long time ago. I find it interesting, and I sit on the Democratic Party of Georgia, if you all didn't know, because of my run for Public Service Commission.
Yeah.
Not you all, but the viewing audience, that we can excuse Biden's and Kamala's hatred for black men, who both of them together put more black men in jail than anybody else. We can excuse that. So I do want to remind us that it was Kamala and Joe with their rhetoric and actions, their practice, that have hurt more black men. So I just want to put that out there. As we hate Trump, let's put that same energy as far as researching what Biden and Kamala did.
True. But
they're real.
There's been a lot of disabled people that have pushed and passed laws that help, and probably not help, but hurt the disabled and the handicapped. We all have bad actors.
Yes.
In every ethnicity, every sexuality, every religion, every faction of America. We have to do our due diligence in pointing out the bad actors and focusing on their actions and not the rhetoric. I've already said it a million times, we need to stop focusing so much on the identity politics and what people do or what they want to do. That's what we need to focus on. And we keep dividing each other and attacking each other personally. We're attacking one another's ideas. Like when we did the debates about health care, we should be hashing out our plans for Medicare and Medicaid, whether to restrict it, expand it, whatever, rather than attacking each other. When we talk about the economy, we should attack certain taxes that are passed, or worse, certain taxes that are not levied, and how the money is spent, rather than attacking each other personally. We should look at our budget and have full transparency with the people, so that people can look, I didn't want my tax revenue spent on this and that, to improve business. I wanted it for drainage. I wanted it for paving roads. I wanted it to go into the pocket of law enforcement, not security cameras. Because I hate to say it, but when you're being attacked, a security camera is not going to help you. In fact, the person on the other end of the screen might have fell asleep. You want a live human being officer. So rather than turning Savannah into a smart city, which is like living in a concentration camp, why don't you just hire more police officers that are qualified?
Watch this thing. And that stupid, excuse me, viewers, but that stupid ass millage rate that y'all won't roll back. There's so much money coming in for that, and you have yet to put out a damn stormwater drainage plan, Van.
Yeah.
Why don't you put more money in to what you just said, Clinton, hire more officers?
Yeah.
And grounds. But I forgot. You want to make sure.
Look at all the money. Look at all the money that they spent on these cameras all over. And all these cameras are going to do is mail you a citation. Well, once you get murdered, that citation goes in your mailbox. You ain't going to be able to pay it anyway. You need an officer to come to your aid when someone pulls the gun, the knife on you, or, and you're in danger. You don't need a camera taking pictures and mailing you a ticket. That's not going to save your life. And they always point out some child that was rescued by the hypno. Come on. For every one of those human pieces, there's thousands of people that got robbed or murdered and the camera didn't do anything. So stop wasting your money on surveillancing everyone in the city and start spending your money on human beings that are qualified to protect and serve. Also, rather than giving money to the owners of the land that own the parking lots and everything of Embark so they can renovate, you should have spent that money on the people. They get paid amount of money from their lease agreement with you. If they don't know how to utilize it to improve their own parking lot or any other structure, that's their problem. You don't give them more money. You're already paying them. You should have spent that money on the people of Savannah. Sorry.
That's why Jay Meldo needs to be fired. Jay, if I ever get to be Alderman Jay Meldo, I'm going to fire you, and that's going to be my first job. Dante, what's your thoughts?
I'm from Savannah, Georgia. I will always be a Savannah man to my heart. I just think Savannah is so backwards sometimes, to be honest with you. I don't support the daddy state, these cameras that Clinton is talking about. I think the simple answer is just to hire more police officers. But you have politicians who can't say stuff like that because it's pretty much against their talking points. They are against the police. I think if you have more police officers, police presence who are following and protecting people's constitutional rights and don't violate anybody's constitutional rights, I think you can deter crime. The reason why crime is spiking up everywhere, because criminals feel like, I can do X crime and I don't get punished, or if I do X crime, I'm going to get out the next day. I mean, there has to be some type of deterrence that goes along with the crime, and what's going on right now is not happening. I mean, the guy who tried to shoot President Trump was only 20 years old. No. We have a problem with our young people who don't give to, I can't even say the word I want to say, but they just don't care about life. I mean, they are making decisions that's going to change the rest of their life. I mean, some of them are looking at life like you're stepping on a bug. They don't understand once you're gone, you're not coming back. This is not a video game, but our young people are going to the extreme.
We've destroyed young people, especially during the pandemic. The suicide rate went skyrocket. You can't enclose a generation, not allow them any human interaction, and think it's going to have a positive emotional and mental impact on them. And when I mentioned increasing law enforcement, humans, I stated very clearly, qualified. There are too many unqualified police officers. They need to be flushed out. We need to reform the police academies. We need to reform the criteria that is imposed on a person before they enter a police academy. That way we get competent, qualified police officers. We allow too many people that should have never been allowed in the police academy, not only go to the police academy, but to become police officers. We need to make the The number one criteria of entering any police academy being a psychological evaluation. That should be the number one criteria. Not everyone is emotionally and mentally suited to see such horrible things on a daily basis. So you need a very strict psychological evaluation before you're allowed in the police academy. That's my opinion.
All right. Well, y'all, I'm going to play this video and get your reaction, and we'll close out with this today. So let me make sure. All right.
That you hit the magic number of around, you need 1,215 delegates out of 2,429 to get the nomination. Typically, Republicans hit that number in May or June. So you could be looking at a month before he hits the magic number. He gets the bad Supreme Court decision that says he's ineligible. And then their convention is in June or July. What is it, in June? So July. So this is all a very it's a shorter timeline than you think.
What it means to the forest among these trees is that there is a rational process that is happening. And the other thing that is looming behind everybody who's making rational decisions is there might be a meteor that's going to destroy all of it.
Which is what
so everybody's so weird. Everybody's making plans for both of those contingencies.
Big meteor.
So, but tonight, the meteor is still floating around, and we do not know if it will leave orbit and destroy us. And so up next, we will go back to a caucus site.
So, and why I played that, it's this idea, I am obviously a Biden supporter. I couldn't, while it is a fear factor and I get it, there are safeguards that will prohibit Donald from doing certain things. And so, it's easy to forgive Biden for being a slave monger. I'm being real.
Yeah.
But it's hard to forgive Trump for just talking what he thinks in his mind. Help me understand. Let's digest that for a minute, and then we close out.
I think we worry too much about the presidency. As you're saying, there are safeguards to prevent a president, female or male, from getting out of hand. And Congress holds the majority of power now, but ever since the beginning of the 20th century, Congress has been eroding away at the executive branch. But they still want the people to think the executive branch controls everything, even though now it's the legislative branch that has the greatest form of power. Go ahead.
And if I may, Clinton, let me ask you this, Dante. They said, what has Barack Obama done for the black people? What has Raphael Warnock done for the black people?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. The only thing I can tell you is I only voted for him because he was from Savannah, Georgia, and I didn't like my other option, Herschel Walker. That's the only thing I can tell you about Raphael Warnock. But Clint, go ahead and finish your point, and then I can come in.
I have to give Warnock some credit. He wasn't mentally retarded, so.
Clinton, just so you know, you're always invited to the cookout. You know that.
I mean, come on. What are you going to choose? Herschel Walker or a competent person? Duh. That was a no-brainer.
I mean, that was a no-brainer. That was an easy vote for me.
Right. I was like, oh, shit, y'all can do that.
I got nothing against Herschel Walker, but come on. You didn't expect me to take that serious.
And it's, what's funny? Every Republican won on the ballot but him.
But I can't laugh. That's how I felt. Every Democrat won but me and Dan Bryan.
I feel bad. I kind of feel bad for Herschel Walker because he didn't know what he was doing. And he was sitting there pointing up a prop badge and he was giving him a gift. Thinking that he's really in law enforcement. No, man, that was a gift, okay?
No, we didn't want to win that.
It's called an honorary doctorate. That's not real, right?
Yeah, I felt bad for Herschel Walker. That was abusing the mentally handicapped. That was not wrong. I mean, that was wrong on every respect. But, yeah. Now, that wasn't even a choice. That was that or bust. So, yeah.
That was hazing. Good God. I look forward to Kim. Kim, you got my vote. Run for Senate. Dante, final thoughts. Dante, then Clinton.
Final thoughts. I think it's going to be a great convention week for the Republican Party. I think Trump is going to get some boost in the polls from this assassination attempt. and then also from the convention as well. Can't say how much the points are going to increase because it's still going to be a very, very tight election. But I think Trump's numbers are going to increase. In regards to the Democratic Party, I don't think Biden is going to make it. I really expect a messy convention if they don't pick Kamala Harris. And I'm all for the sit back and eat the popcorn and watch the Democrats implode on themselves. But I think it's going to be a good election year. Some people might hate this, but Trump is going to be the 47th president.
I think the Democrats need to focus on the next election 4 years ago.
You're a hater, bro. Why are you such a hater?
I'm not a hater. I mean, I think they need to just consider this one and work on 4 years from now.
They're going to Warnock. They're going to run with Kamala Warnock.
I think Chase Oliver will make a decent run. It won't be anything significant, but I think it might get people to notice the Libertarian Party. I don't know about Cornel West. He might get a significant amount of votes. I don't think Robert Kennedy Jr. is going to do as good in the third party as everybody thinks. He's had a lot of bad hiccups in the road because people are getting up some of his policies and they're like out there. So I don't think he's going to do as good as everybody thinks he is. Cornel West, I think, will surprise people. I actually think he will.
Really?
Yeah, I think he'll surprise people. He'll get more votes than people expect. As far as wrapping it up, I like to wrap it up locally on our mayor. I'd like to know what happened years ago with the gun buyback. What happened to those guns? Where did it go? Once they were confiscated, were they melted down or were they resold? And who profited? I'd like to know. I would like one reporter to just look into it. I mean, you claim all your media and your journalists. I'm giving you a story to look into right now. What happened to the guns from the gun buyback in Savannah years ago?
We will definitely see if the lapdogs, WTOC or Savannah Morning News. Yeah, they are lapdogs. Yeah, they're going to cover that. We'll be back next week. The replay will be back. We'll keep doing this live. We'll see y'all next time.
See you.
All right.
Like this.